what's going on? Today we're discussing parenthood, man. Now this video right here is in no way, shape, or form is to offend anyone, that may, I don't know, think the message is towards them. But parenthood, bro. Parenthood is a great experience. You know. Personally, I'm not a parent, and I don't think I'm ready to be a parent just at this moment. And there's a lot of people who are parents out there. And the statement that I just made applies to them. I don't think they were ready to be parents either. The reason I say this is because a lot of these people who are parents, they lack resources, bro. They lack time and they lack money. They lack a lot of things that kids needs. This is a fact because a lot of the times people who are parents, they don't spend enough time with their kids. They can't. Why? Because they got to go to work. They got to make money. They got to be able to pay the bills. And it's a lot of people that are parents that I can say we're not ready to have kids. And there's a select few amount who were ready. Those who were ready, they had a plan. They had money put away. Them and the person that they had the kid with sat down and talked about it to the point where they have enough time to spend with the kid. They can raise their kid on their own. And they're not really just dropping the kid off. Most of the other people, they're dropping them kids off, bro. When I say they're dropping them kids off, they're dropping them kids off to the grandma house, granddad house, auntie house, sister house. They're dropping the kids off somewhere, bro. Why? Because they don't have the resources to spend enough time with their kids. They don't have enough money to where they can sit at home and be with their kids. They got to go to work. So at the end of the day, a lot of people who are parents, they weren't ready to be parents. But they still kind of made the decision to bring that child into the world. Now, I would say a lot of those people were influenced by, when I was growing up, we had this show called 16 and Pregnant, bro. Because I'm in my 30s, bro. So a lot of the people that have kids right now, they were influenced by 16 and Pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And the show basically was a show that tried to highlight younger teenage girls being pregnant in high school. And a lot of those girls who were 16 and pregnant in high school currently have 3 to 4 kids right now. And the problem is not having the kids, bro. It's taking care of the kids, being with the kids, spending time with the kids, helping the kid grow into a good adult. A lot of those people, I don't know if y'all got like a class action lawsuit against, what was it, MTV for producing that show? Because that show led a lot of females down the wrong path. Like a lot of them was 16 years old. Like their body fully not developed, mind fully not developed to really have a kid. But a lot of the women that are currently in 30s with 3, 4 kids, they had them at 16, bro. They had them at 16 because of this show. And a lot of people might get offended from the video, bro, but think about this on a mental level. It's like you birth a kid, you don't even have enough time to spend with the kid. You don't have enough money to spend with this kid. This kid is basically with your grandma all day, your sister all day, your auntie all day. There's a detachment from you because your kid has to spend a lot of time with you. There's a detachment from you. That's why you see a lot of kids have emotional problems. A lot of kids don't know how to really express themselves because they don't spend enough time with their parents. Currently, today in the US, it's a lot of kids staying with their grandma, staying with their granddad, staying with their auntie, staying with their uncle, because the parent wasn't ready for this situation, bro. They weren't ready for this situation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna keep it a being. Like a lot of the people that weren't ready for kids, 9 times out of 10, this is how the relationship went. Everything was good. You got knocked up. After you got knocked up, the baby came. Everything was different. Everything was different. bro, it's happened with a lot of people. Like, I've seen it. You know, they're dating. They seem like the perfect couple. Yeah, she gets knocked up. Baby comes. They despise each other, and that occurred because you guys was not ready to have kids. The people who were ready to have kids, a baby doesn't separate you two. That's a bond that's supposed to make you guys stronger. It's like a connection between two folks. Like, you have X right here, you have Y right here, and this connection in the middle ties X and Y together. You feel me? But the reason it didn't work out with you and that partner or that person is because y'all wasn't ready. You guys was not ready. And a lot of people are not talking about not being ready for having kids because they try to make that seem like the thing. When I say they try to make that seem like the thing, it's like, bro, when you're around like 30 years old, two things are you're gonna get asked if a female is interested in you. It's gonna say, hey, do you have kids? Are you married? Because in their mind, everyone at this age is supposed to have kids, bro. And it's like, yo, bro, you're tripping because at the end of the day, you only think like that because you might have had that kid in your teens, young. So you have been fed this perspective that everybody that's 30 or 40 is supposed to have kids because you got kids. That's not how this works. Having a kid is a sacred thing to a lot of people, bro. It's very sacred. That's why it takes so long to have a kid. You feel me? Think about anything else that takes that long. A whole year? Not much really takes a whole year unless you waiting on something from the government or something. But having a baby takes almost a whole year, 12 months or something. So you got to start understanding that is a process. That is a sacred process. But most people, like I said, they were misled by the show 16 and Pregnant. And a lot of people had kids 17, 19, 16s. Those same people today are like 33, 32. They got 3, 4 kids. And they're devastated in a sense. Like, people are very devastated when it comes to that, but they use having kids as a reward, like a claim of a reward. You know, my own mother did it, bruh. My moms ain't never really raised me, family. No, I wasn't raised with her. But whenever we would get in like a simple disagreement, because I never disrespected, the first thing she'd say is, "I born you. I born you." And it's like, you didn't do it on your own, miss. I ain't gonna hold you. You needed the the head. You needed my pops to drop that off. But when she says that, it's like a claim of fame for her. Like, I born you. You came out of me. And it's like, you're right, I came out of you, but you also have a responsibility to help raise me. You ain't do none of that. So that's where the problem starts to come. Most women had that claim of fame because my own mom say all the time, like, yeah, you came out of me. You my son. I take you out. Of course I'm your son. I can't be nobody else's son, but I cannot be fully your son if you don't raise me. If you didn't help me grow up. I'm hoping y'all following me here because this is very important, bro. Most people be like, yeah, that's my son, that's my daughter. Whole time you ain't taking care of that daughter. You ain't taking care of that son. So what are you holding on to this claim for? Like, this is a claim that's only for the worthy. Like somebody that's constantly taking care of the kids, watching the kids, being there for the kids. They could be like, yo, that's my son right there. It's my daughter right there. Because they have a right to that claim. But it's a lot of people with kids that be quick to say, that's my kid, that's my child. But the whole time you're not even around catering to them, taking care of them, helping them grow up. And this is a big issue because, bro, it's a lot of you guys. It's only a select few who are taking care of the kids. The biggest things that 16 and Pregnant, the show, did not advertise is, bro, it's hard to maintain a family. I don't know what planet you've been in, what world you're from, but if you grew up and you paid attention to the adults around you, you understand it's very difficult to maintain a family. You gotta be ready. That's not something you just do in your sleep. You gotta be ready, bro. You gotta have enough resources for your wife or your kids or your girlfriend or whatsoever. You gotta have time to spend with your kids to teach them morals, principles, discipline, or just important traits that they need. Because The issue here is, bro, at the end of the day, shout out to all the grandparents, the grandmas, the granddads out there, but their job is not to be your babysitter, bro. That's not really talked about enough. It's a lot of people that's getting away with not being parents because they have good grandmas and granddads that's helping them out. Now, the fact that your grandma and your granddad's helping you out, it doesn't take you away from your responsibility of being a parent. Because the issue with that is, bro, your grandma and your granddad, they're older. They don't have the same amount of energy that they might have had when they was helping you out. You feel me? When your mom brought you here. So they only have a little bit of energy to tend to your child. Meaning that your child is gonna miss a lot of things because the alertness and attentiveness of your grandma or granddad is not as sharp. It's not as sharp. Trust me, they're gonna pick up a lot of good characteristics at the same time, but they're not gonna pick up all of the necessary characteristics, bro. A lot of that comes from you spending time with them, helping them understand, helping them build that connection. Because it's like, bro, if your son or daughter with grandma and granddad all day, that's all they know. They might not know, might not learn anything else. And the reason I'm saying shout out to the grandma and granddad is because, bro, people quick to drop the kid off there. And those are the ones that's raising the kids. There's a lot of grandmas, granddads all over the world taking care of newborns. They don't have the energy for that, bro. That's your job. But you wasn't ready for this responsibility. You brought it here. Now you're dropping it off everywhere. Y'all gotta stop that, man. Spend time with your kids. I had a homie, shout out to my homie Lotto, man. Out of all the homies I had, this was somebody that I can specifically say loved his kids, bro. And this goes back into what I just mentioned, dropping off your kids. He has his baby mom. You know, they're no longer together. They got 2 kids. But his baby mom will always seem like she had to work the most hours. She had to work 90 to 100 hours. That's how she made it seem. Whole time, bro. This girl was going on dates. Cause the craziest part of the story is my homie, no matter what was going on, when his baby mother called, was like, yo, I gotta go to work or whatever excuse she would have, he'd just say, yo, just drop my kids off to me. Because as a father, as a dad, he has a daughter. He has a younger son. His daughter is a little younger. And his perspective is, I can't let my kids be around anyone that I don't trust to know. Most of the moms, only a select few moms have this perspective. I've only talked to a few girls who they got a kid, they got a son, and they'll tell you like, look, I can't hang out unless I don't have my son. I can't hang out unless I don't have my son. There's other women out there, they don't even prioritize the safety of their child. They're selfish first. So it's all about their interest. So they let any and everybody come around their kids. That's the truth, bruh. They let any and everybody come around their kids. And that's a problem because you don't know who's coming around your kid. You don't know what type of intent they are. You don't know their vibe. You just can't let anybody have that privilege of being around your child. Like I said, I've talked to girls before where they're like, look, I don't hang out with nobody if I got my son or daughter with me, which is respectable. But going back to the story, my friend's BM, she had a tendency of just dropping the kids off, wanting to drop the kids off, and my guy get him every time just so his kids didn't get dropped off to an auntie, to a grand, like just somebody off brand. Why? Because he wanted to protect the safety of his kids, the safety of his daughter. Most of you guys out there who weren't ready for kids, you don't give a F, bro. You just drop your kids off wherever, whoever. And a lot of the times, you're affecting their whole lives, bro. Because the people that you're dropping your kids off to, they might not be the nicest people, bro. They might not even care about your kid on the level that you think. And they just put on a show while you there. But once you leave, they like Medea. Not Medea, but Matilda's grandma to your kid. Mean as ever. You know, mistreating them. You know, some of them even might go as far as assaulting them. Why? Because you not there. And you gotta think, why would this person be comfortable with having this mindset? It's like, bro, you drop your kid off there all the time. You don't have enough time to spend with your kids. So they're already looking at you like you don't care about this child anyways. So being that they're already an ill-minded person, they're gonna take advantage of that. My homie, bro, he didn't let his children go nowhere. Whenever the girl was like, "Oh, I gotta do this," he would be like, "Yo, bring them, drop them off." And later he found out that look, she didn't never had to work like that. She didn't have to work that many hours. She was going on dates, hanging out with her boyfriend. But it's like, dang, you would think this girl's a mother of two. She would prioritize her kids over a boyfriend, but that's not the case with a lot of these women, bro. They're prioritizing these boyfriends over the kids. Same for the dudes. Same for the dudes. I ain't here to talk about just women. Dudes do the same thing. I know dudes, they don't even want to spend time with their son and daughter. They driving it off to their sister crib. They sister already got 2, 3 kids. That's too many kids. She can't take care of 3 kids by herself. Go spend time with your child. Go take your daughter to the mall. Take her to ride. Take her to the park. These are small little things that you could do to have that connection with your kids. But those are drop they son, they daughter off to their auntie, to their sister to go hang out with a bunch of other dudes or to go hang out with a new girl. And it's like, yo, bro, the purpose of having kids is like an extension of you, so you can't be selfish. Most of y'all don't take care of your kids. Y'all drop them off, bro. We gotta be honest, y'all dropping them kids off regularly. So it's like when will you guys take it upon yourself to be like, nah, I gotta be responsible because this is my child. I gotta be responsible because this is a life that I brought into the world. Y'all don't understand dropping the kids off to randoms, family members. You're affecting them in the long run as far as like there will be no emotional connection really between y'all two. They don't see you as much. Second, you don't know the environment that you're leaving them in because you're not there. You're going. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you have a very young kid that doesn't have the ability to really communicate what's occurring, you might not really know what's going on, bro. You might not really know what's going on. It's countless times we all hear the stories of a dude, harming the child and then harming the mom. And then, it's a tragic end to the story. But a lot of these moms understand that these dudes are dangerous guys. They're they have a lot of ill intent. They're aggressive. They're violent. Yet they still leave the kids with them. They still leave the kids with them. Dudes do the same thing. They might be dating a girl who's just, very toxic, very horrible, and they're still leaving the kids with them. So when you see a lot of these stories where, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend was able to harm a kid or harm this kid, it's the parents' fault, bruh. They trusted this individual, knowing this individual has several issues, violence, toxicity, ill intent, and then you still leave your kid with them. It doesn't make sense. People got to stop being selfish, bro. That's why I say a lot of y'all wasn't ready for kids, bro. Because at the end of the day, y'all can't even take care of them. Y'all can't even be with them. Y'all can't even spend time with them. Y'all dropping them off. How was you ready? But then these are the same people, like I said, they claim on to that having a kid. They're like, that's my child. This is my son. It's my daughter. Whole time, they're doing everything I just mentioned. Not spending time with the kid, dropping them off, not there for them. No real connection. Kid probably see him about 2, 3 hours. But they claim on to that. Like, I used to talk to this girl and I had to stop talking to her because we kind of got in like a huge disagreement. Now keep in mind, She has a young boy. I forgot his name, but he was a nice kid, bro. Innocent kid. Like when kids are young, they're innocent, bro. They have a certain innocence that's just pure. You know what I'm saying? So keep in mind, I'm texting this girl. I don't know if she got a son whatsoever. So we hung out 2 times. First time I go over there, bro, her crib is dirty as bro. I'm talking about, man, the crib dirty, bro. So I'm looking like, man, what the heck? You know, I ain't somebody that's gonna come in and be too disrespectful. If your spot dirty the whole time I'm there in my head, I'm thinking like, yo, you it's dirty right here. You got to clean up. You feel me? So while we chilling, vibing, her son come out from his room because he be in a room chilling. So she immediately get to yelling at him, go back in your room, go back in your room. And he's like, nah, I'm hungry. This dude like 2 years old or 1 year old, but he's like a genius, bro. Like when I say genius, certain kids, they got a high frequency, they're high frequency thinkers, bro. You just gotta listen to them talk and see how they interact. So he's like, nah, I'm hungry. She like, we don't have no food, we don't have no food. So, you know, I'm like, man, I get him some food, whatever. Cause bro, that's a young boy. I want was a young boy. So I could visualize myself having a shitty mom. This girl's a shitty mom. You feel me? So I had ordered some food, little bro ate. Then we was play fighting with the swords. He played with swords. And then she's like, oh, get back in your room. Just trying to send bro back to his room. But it's like, bro, he's in his room all day. You think he want to be in his room 24 hours? Cause you want to be out here not doing nothing but watching TV? And I had to tell him, I'm like, yo, bro, he could be out here. He good. We ain't doing nothing anyway. We chilling. So little bro chill with us or whatever. Then it's time for him to go to bed. So when he goes to bed, you know, they get the busing. You know, I'm greasing his mom. That's why I'm here. So when I'm greasing his mom, he wake up. Bro, she literally starts screaming at the kid. But it's like she's screaming at him because, you know, we're getting it on and she's upset that he woke up. And it's like, yo, bro, shut up. At the end of the day, he's a 2 year old family. They're gonna wake up out of night in the middle of the night, or you know, they're not gonna sleep fully when they take naps, bro. This is what happens. But the girl's so upset because she wants to, you know, continue freaking. She's damn near snapping on the kid. Take your to bed. Ooh, you fat. You always want to eat because he woke up hungry. Because Lil Bro was kind of big. He's probably gonna be like six something, bro. He was a big baby, like big 2 year old. So when she get the snapping on him or whatever, you know, I let it ride. And I'm like, damn, I'm gonna just talk to her in the morning. So in the morning time, me and her are smoking, and I'm just like, sometimes you gotta approach people when things it's the best time. So this was like the best time to talk to her. I'm like, yo, you gotta be nicer to your son. When I say that, it's like I triggered her. She's like, what you mean? Ooh, ooh. And I'm like, bro, you're mean as shit, bro. At the end of the day, this is your son. You calling him a fat A. You talking about he's just so bad. And it's like you're feeding him all types of negativity at 2 years old that he don't need. At the end of the day, you his mom. This shit I'm telling her. Man, you his mom. You supposed to have enough food in here, bro. You supposed to have enough food for him to where he shouldn't have to be hungry like every 10 minutes. You ain't got but snacks in here. You expect him to be full off of snacks. So we kind of going back and forth. But keep in mind, this is not my son, bro. This is just a kid that, because I love kids, bro, in the sense of we all was kids at one point, dummy. Don't forget, you before you was an adult, you was a kid. You was a 2 year old too. So I'm visualizing like, damn, this kid is doomed. He's with a shitty ass mom. This broad is lazy. She don't want to clean up. She don't want to go buy food. All she want to do is be on Facebook all day, you know, trying to freak on dudes. That's it. So we kind of going back and forth exchanging her, and I'm snapping on her because she was kind of like being disgruntled and not understanding what I'm saying. So I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. You a horrible mom. You gotta do better. At the end of the day, if you treat this kid like this, he's gonna grow up to hate your ass. I don't know if you got a problem with his dad, or when you look at him, you see his dad, but whatever it is, you have to let that go. It's no longer about you, it's about him. When you have a kid, you're not important no more. You're like the last resort. The kid is first, bro. It goes God, the kid, and then you. And then whatever boyfriend, girlfriend you care about. Honestly, most people not gonna say that, but it's the truth. But people have kids and then it's still selfish. They think it's me, 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 me. And it's like having that conversation with the girl. I was hoping that, damn, she would at least realize what I'm saying. Like, look, cherish your son, cherish your child. This is something you brought into the world. Instead, you're assaulting a 2-year-old. You don't have enough food for him. Then I'm like, yo, you need to clean this shit up. Clean this shit up. I'm coming in here, the crib dirty as shit. Clean this up. When I left, bro, I just blocked her, bro. Because in a sense, bro, like, why do I even want to be around somebody like that who doesn't cherish their child? You're abusing the child in the sense of calling him names, calling him a fat A. Bro, this is something that is like horrible. This is a 2-year-old. I can't watch this. And a lot of you people that weren't ready for kids, this is how you interact with your kids, bro. No patience, no understanding. You just emotional. You're a wreck. Some of y'all allow emotions from the relationship to basically influence how you parent the kid. The kid has nothing to do with that relationship. It wasn't like the kids was begging you to come to earth. You made the choice. So you gotta have patience with the kid. You gotta talk to him nicely. You gotta be sweet. You gotta be kind. A lot of y'all, yeah, y'all be screaming at the kids at the top of your lungs. It's like, yo, why you screaming at a kid? This is a 2-year-old. Now, a person like you're not gonna scream at the boyfriend that's beating you down, taking your money, using your car, but you gonna scream at the kid though. It don't make sense. It should be the total opposite. You should be very nice with your kid. The person that's actually mistreating you, be mean to them. But a lot of y'all mean to your kids for whatever reason. It's like, why'd you have a kid? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm somebody, bro. I can't witness somebody abusing a kid, bro. It bothers the shit out of me. It's like I feel like, yo, I gotta step up and say something. You know, I had a situation on the bus, a young shorty on the bus, she's screaming at her daughter. Why? Because the girl simply wanted her to hold her, gang. We're on a bus, the bus is packed. The little girl probably like 3 years old. Nice, sweet little girl, like about fresh 3 years old. She's screaming, crying. Her mom like, you just want me to hold you all the time. Duh, pick her up. Like this how I want to come out now at the end of the day. Like, cause bro, you're screaming at a baby for crying, for wanting to be held. Are you stupid? Who raised you? This is what I want to say in that moment, bro. Pick the baby up, fam. Cause somebody gotta say it. Why you think the baby's crying? You're on a bus and it's like no seats on the bus. You think this baby wanna sit over here and the mom's over here? What type of like processes in that? You get on the bus with your baby. You trying to force your baby to sit over here while you sit over here. This is your baby. She don't want to sit by no random. So she's crying. She has every right to be crying. You're her mother. Go pick her up and have her sit on your lap or hold her. But she just didn't want to hold the baby. So she's bro, that shit pissed me off. Like she's screaming the whole time. To the point I just wanted, I had wanted to just say, bro, are you dumb or what? Pick your baby up. But that's just gonna cause more problems. But some of y'all out there, this what y'all need. Y'all need somebody to come and say, yo, stop being a POS. Take care of your baby. Stop being a POS. You know what a POS is? Piece of, yeah. Go spend time with your daughter. Go take your daughter to the park. Take them to the mall. You gonna take a girl to the mall. You gonna go to the mall with your guys. You gonna go out to eat. Oh, this is all the stuff you're supposed to be doing for your child. Giving them the best experiences. Because if you don't give your child the best experience, and they're gonna grow up and despise you. They're gonna despise you, and they're 100% right because you a POS. Why'd you bring them if you weren't ready? And a lot of y'all are not ready, bro. A lot of y'all, I don't like I said, y'all might have a class action lawsuits against MTV for feeding y'all that BS 16 and pregnant, because that's why a lot of y'all got mad kids right now. Because y'all thought it was cool to be 16 and pregnant. And to each his own. But now that you had the kid, it's not about you. Once you have a kid, no, you're not that important, bro. You're not. When you don't have a kid, yes, you could be selfish. It's all about you, me. But the moment you have a child, bro, it's no longer about you. Most people have 3, 4 child, and they instead of taking care of the child, they're trying to find love. Like what? I mean, sorry, but you gave that up a long time ago when you said you're gonna get knocked up and become pregnant. Love and a relationship right now shouldn't be what's on your mind. You know? And it's nothing with saying that to a person, but like I said, you already had the kid, your time is past. People need to be talking about this, bro. That's why it's a lot of like ill-minded kids growing up. It's a lot of kids that because they're lacking a lot of the principles and teachings that they're supposed to get from their parents. Like I said, the grandmas, the granddad, the uncles, the aunts, they can only do so much, bro. You know what I'm saying? They can only do so much. They can only, take care of your kid to a certain level of extent, because your kid has an emotional connection with you that is unmatched. Like it's like an invisible cord. That link is always gonna be there, and depending on how you take care of the relationship, it might get severed. Meaning that by the time you get old, they not gonna care about you. And that's one of the main things that really affect people. They don't really think in the long run, right? Think about it. We all get old, man. When you're old, lonely, and I don't know, hopefully you're happy and not, depressed. What do you have to claim to? What brings you the most happiness? Your kids. I'm telling you, think about it. Your kids. You might not have your girl no more, or you might not have your boyfriend no more, but when you're an old person and you're kind of like getting close to the bucket or whatever, one of the things that's gonna bring you happiness, peace, and joy is spending time with your kids. I'm for real. This is a source right here. It's nothing else better, bro. You will never want nothing else besides that. I'm telling you. Most people are gonna say, "Oh, what are you talking about?" But bro, you see how much joy. Look at grandparents, for instance. And like I said, grandma and granddad is not your babysitter. That being said, they should not be watching your kids every week. You know what I'm saying? Man, here and there on the weekend, cool. But the reason I bring up the grandparents, let's go back to the fact I said that when you're old, you're like an old fart. You have nothing else going. The only thing you're gonna have to look forward to is your kids. And you're gonna say, man, I don't know what he's talking about. Well, let's look at your grandparents. Let's look at grandma and granddad. Do you guys see how exciting grandma and granddad get when they get to be around the kids? There's no level to measure that excitement, bro. Meaning that a concert couldn't triumph that excitement. $1 million couldn't triumph that excitement. Yeah, you could be old. You could be mad old with $1 million, and the excitement you're gonna get from being with your grandkids won't be the same as the $1 million. It's gonna be much better. It's just something about the effect that kids have on older folks, bro. It's like, I don't know if they rejuvenate their mind, they resurge them with energy, but older folks love kids, bro. That's something that they love. So Now let's go back to what I was saying. You're a parent. You're a POS. I have to taste it. You're a POS. You basically don't spend time with your kid. You don't communicate with them. You don't take care of them. What do you think they're going to do when you're old? They're not going to care about you. Why? Because you haven't invested, bro. They're not going to care. And one of your dying claims or whatever you're going to say is, that's my kid. That's my child. But it won't matter because it's like, at the end of the day, that's a claim that, like I said, people use just to make themselves look good, but there's no real evidence to them really supporting that claim. Like, saying that is mine, but not taking care of it is like, come on, bro, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm sure there's a lot of y'all that kind of went through that. I had a parent who wasn't really a part of your life, but you had the parent to be like, you my child regardless. You my son. It's like, of course. But as far as like really being your son, you missed out on that. You know what I mean? You missed out on that because look, you didn't assist me. You didn't help me grow up. You didn't even care about spending time with me. Spending time with your kids is one of the most important things out there because that's how you build that connection. If you don't build that connection with your child before they get to like their 20s, you're done. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take you a while to even connect with them now because there's no relationship. You see so many people depressed, sad, because they don't have a relationship with their kids, bro. Because like I said, when you get old, really, that's like one of the best feelings right there. Getting to spend time with your seeds, your offspring, or having them care about you to a certain level. Because, bro, when you old, it seems like the U.S. don't really care about you. Nobody really cares about old folks. That's what it be looking like. It look like they don't be caring about the older folks, bro. You know what I'm saying? From my perspective, you know what I mean? The only people that be caring about the older folks is the apartment complex, man. You wanna know why? Because old folks always be having the flyest cribs built. That's it. Is the apartment complex really be caring about the older folks, bro? They make sure the older folks always got the best cribs. You know, all the old folks stay in luxury apartments. You heard? That's like the only people that be caring about them. But other than that, like regular life, people try to treat old folks like they don't matter. You know what I'm saying? The only people that really acknowledge old folks, the apartment complex and kids, bro. Those it. Everybody else, they act like they not even important. They not a factor. But then it's like, okay, but we all get old. So what happens when you get old and you don't have a relationship with your child or offspring? What do you think is gonna happen? You think they're gonna want to be around you? You think they're gonna care about you? Bro, they're not even gonna want to see you. You know, you're gonna be one of them old folks, mad, sad, lonely. One thing you're gonna be wishing is what? You had a good relationship with your kids. So before you get to that point, bro, take care of them now, bro. Yeah, you might not have been ready. It's okay to admit that. Most people that had kids, most of them weren't ready. It's only a select few that was ready. The ones that was ready, they're successful. Those are the ones that have good kids, had a best relationship, good communication with their kids. Why? Because they're there. They're not just dropping them off. So let's do better, man. Everybody out there, let's do better. Ladies, no disrespect to y'all, but after you had a kid, you're not the most important thing. You're like the third option. God, the kid, you. Men, same thing. God, kid, you, girlfriend. Ladies, same thing. God, kid, you, boyfriend. That's the order. But yeah, I got everything out of whack, man. I don't know why it's like that, but we gotta shift the culture, bro. We gotta shift the culture. Give grandma a break. Give granddad a break. Give uncle a break. Auntie a break. You need to be on the clock. You're the parent. You need to take care of them. You need to give them the best experiences. You need to take them to the mall, the merry-go-round, the park. That's your job. You feel me? That is your job.